Hey, what's going on, guys? Stid back again playing some Battlefield Hardline beta, and today I have a really good video on the best buys for the assault rifle class. So if you didn't know already, certain weapons and certain gadgets are exclusive to either the criminal class or the police class, the two sides of Battlefield Hardline. So with this, we're going to be going over the best 4 things for assault rifles on both teams, so I can help you out with knowing what to buy and when to buy when the game comes out, and also when you're just playing the beta. Some guns are better for the police class, and some guns that the criminals have are better, and we're going to be going over which ones to buy, what gadgets to buy, and why they're better than the other ones. So if we start with the police class, the first thing that you need to buy is the M416. It's about 43 grand, and it's definitely worth saving up for. It's a really good gun, and it is probably the best assault rifle in the beta right now. This gun has an 850 round per minute fire rate, which pretty much hits the sweet spot with the M16A3 from Battlefield 3, which is what this gun pretty much reminds me of. This gun also has pretty low recoil, which means you can tap fire this at range, and it makes it an awesome assault rifle for all around, whether you're going close quarters or tap firing at range. Now you'll see me in the video. It's a perfect example of how I like to use this gun. On the Mac bank job, when I'm playing heist game mode, it's really easy to go through and mow people down in close quarters when you try to dig out through that bank area, and it's also really good for being on the roofs and sniping people, picking people off when they're trying to return the loot or whatever they're trying to do. And you see me do it a lot of times during this video. So that would definitely be the assault rifle to go for when you're on the police side, because that is the only side that the M416 is available to. But for the criminals, you're better off just sticking with the first gun that you get, the RO333. It's a really good overall carbine, and none of the other guns pretty much beat out the weapon. The SG553 is pretty good, but it's not as solid in close quarters as the RO333 is. So it's a really solid weapon. I'll recommend throwing on a suppressor instead of the flash hider. I would swap out whatever, I think it's a flashlight or a laser sight. I would swap that out with an extended mag. But that's about it. Save your money on that area. And those are pretty much the 2 assault rifles that you go with. So that covers our first buy. Now let's get into some of the gadgets. The second buy we're going to be doing is in the gadgets, and we're going to be buying the revive. So this is either the adrenaline stick that you get, and it's a needle you put into their bodies. That's for the criminal side, and the police get a defibrillator. If you buy either one, it should go over to the other one. So say if you buy a defibrillator, you should be able to unlock the revive stick, and vice versa. And if you don't know already, if it's not self-explanatory, this can revive your teammates, and if they're down, all you have to do is whip it out, press it, and it'll go into them. Whether it's the stick, you'll press the needle in, the defibrillator, you'll charge it up and press it into their body. This comes in at around 14 grand and is a really good tool that's not that expensive, and it can save up probably in about 2 games of just playing. The second gadget we're looking at is already given to you, and that's the med bag. So you want to keep that at all times, so that way you can give your teammates health and yourself health whenever you're taking damage and you're behind the cover. You can just pop it down, wait a few seconds, and get right back in the fight. If we move on to our third buy, we're going to be looking at the CEW or C3W. Not sure at this point what it actually is, but it's the taser, and that is a pretty pricey weapon, but it's $21,000. That's a secondary, and that's pretty much going to cover your pistol. The reason why I go with this taser is because it's a guaranteed one shot, one kill, no matter where you hit them. So if you have good accuracy, this is definitely the weapon for you. But if you struggle with getting shots on target, I definitely would recommend using pistols first, and then once you feel comfortable with yourself, going with the taser, because once you miss a shot, it's game over. You have to reload after every single shot, and it's not like a mag-fed taser or anything. You have to shoot it, and if you miss, you reload, and it's not fun. You're probably going to get dropped by anybody who has common sense at that point. But if you have good accuracy, go for it. It's definitely worth the $21,000 or however much it is. But it does have a few downsides to it, and that is that it has very low range. So if you try to aim anywhere outside of like 10 or 12 meters, it's not even going to hit them. The taser won't even reach, so you can't be sniping people with it. Also, the muzzle velocity of this thing is really slow, so you're going to have to lead targets that are running. And it's really just good for stationary targets who are posted up, and you can just lean out of a door, pop a shot in them, and go back in. The fourth and final buy is the incendiary, also known as the Molotov cocktail. So the Molotov obviously goes to the criminals, the incendiary goes to the police, and this is basically a fire that you put down on the ground, and it really stops all transportation between people trying to move in and out of an area. So it's really good for trying to hold down an area. Say you're trying to defend against the criminals when they're trying to take the loot out. You can pop down a fire, they won't be able to run throughout there, and if they do, they're probably going to die, and if they even reach out of the fire, they're going to be at about 10% health. It's also really good for campers. If you see someone in a corner, you can just lean out, pop a Molotov, and he'll try to run out, and you can just easily get that body shot or two, however much health he has left after the fire. So that pretty much concludes the operator top 4 buys, otherwise known as the assault rifle class, as I like to call it. But if this goes well, I'll probably do the other classes as well, go over the best shotguns and whatnot in the game. But anyway, if you do like it, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll be happy to get some more Hardline gameplay out for you guys to see. Peace.